was under the same UN, a meeting under SDGs. Now, the Vice President attended officially the meeting of the UN General Assembly with specific reference on NAM, on behalf of the President, to persuade those heads of state to consider coming for NAM. The Right Honorable Prime Minister attended the other component of the UN General Assembly on SDGs. Now, in terms of delegation, they were very emphatic. I think our Ugandan media captured even the list of our staff who are part of our missions out of the country. Some of the names of ministers that were captured even never attended the meeting. The Vice President indicated she went with a delegation of 5. The Prime Minister indicated she went with a delegation of 5. And all the members in their respective delegations were approved. Because for the Vice President to travel, for a Prime Minister to travel, that travel is approved by the President. So what we are seeing being reported by you members of the media, a delegation of 71, is total misrepresentation of the fact as they are. Their ministers, you indicated, traveled, but they did not. It's total misrepresentation. So that is on the UN. So first of all, for the Vice President, according to him, was sent with an official communication. And she addressed them reading the speech of HE, the President. For the Prime Minister, he says that one he left it because he was not very well entrenched on matters of SDGs. But the two he knew because Vice President was more on NAM as a component of UN. Then the Prime Minister oversees SDGs. So the two were all in his knowledge. Absolutely. Let me start with the last. All laws we are currently using to prosecute any corrupt Ugandan is passed by Parliament and assented to by the President under the principle of checks and balances. So when it comes to matters of legislation, that is the role of Parliament. If we are saying we would want to strengthen the existing laws further, it is still the same institution. If there are some rotten eggs, it does not mean that all eggs are rotten. You can remove the rotten eggs, deal with them under the laws of Uganda. But what we are saying in principle is the existing legislation requires some more strengthening. Unless you are saying when it comes to Parliament, maybe Parliament will do something that will vary it to the disadvantage. But we want to strengthen it further and make it a whipping stick that can whip and you see the impact. But you're also aware that all those prosecuted and sentenced were all sentenced under the law passed by Parliament, in principle, and assented to by the President. So you have trust. Just like all of you here assembled may not be good people, there may be some semblance of bad people. You see, the principle is grown from Jesus. He stayed with only 12 people. 2 of them betrayed. Now, every 12 people here I can count as my disciples. There will be Judas and there will be Simon Peter. You are now here about 24. So that means there may be 4 people who can betray me. Now, on the issue of numbers, again, you see, we were talking about 71. But now in your own words, you are talking about 5 verses 7. 5 verses 7. I think the clarity from the huge and what appeared to be a very bloated team of 71 members representing Uganda, we are now talking about 5, 7. I think it is a significant departure from what was reported in principle. And the variation can be there. Maybe the other two could have been ADCs to the principal, and it is allowed at their level. But official designated delegation, 5. But at their level, they are allowed to travel with security. So be it 5, be it 7, but what was reported today is 5. There can be variation in terms of security. But officially, they reported 5. In today's